Well, we got this little deck project. I brought out a shovel. Dawson and I lifted out these two footings. Look what I see there. I see the septic tank. That's got to be the septic tank. I know the pipe comes out right up there in the corner. Originally I was thinking it comes out in that corner under these tanks, but it's over here. I thought it was this mound right here, but it's got to be right here. The average tank is 4x8, so I grabbed a shovel. I did one dig. Look what I come up with. I come over approximately 2 feet without measuring. Right there's a wire. That's got to be the cover to the septic tank right under our deck. That's crazy. So this is the deck build I want to do, and I was gonna, it was extended out to here and across. You can see the squareness. It was a here, so it was over top of the tank. That's crazy. So I'm not sure that that footing isn't on the tank, because the tank edge is right there. It could be the front edge. So I thought I'd come right straight across about 2 feet and dig to see if I can find a cover. One shovel full, and I think I found a cover. Right there's the concrete, and right there looks to be the handle to lift the cover up. So I don't know the full anatomy of this, but I have a feeling the tank is even farther that way, which makes this post sit on the tank, and that'd be foolish. So this deck build might go away. I might have to do something different, like go over there and dig 2 little footings, or probably leave that one actually, and add one more and just make a stoop landing without a deck. And so what I think I should do is find both covers. There should be an inlet with a baffle, and then the solids come up, whatever, the water overflows into the next chamber, and then there's a clean out for that. So there should be 2 clean outs. So the tank looks to be down 4 inches. I went down 1.5 inches, and I hit that, so I'm assuming it's a cover about that thick. So I think I should clean this off, and I should keep going to see where the edge of the tank is. If the cover's here, that's got to be on the tank, and I don't feel we should leave it. I mean, it's worked all these years. I don't know how many years, but I've been here 13. I didn't know it. I thought the tank was out there. So if the tank needs maintenance or somebody needs to clean it out, I don't want our tank or our deck to be over top of it. That's foolish, because I want to enclose a base and I don't want to be on the tank. So I'm going to finish shoveling this off. This might change all of our ideas on this whole project. Well, as you can see, that's the stupidest thing I've ever saw. The septic tank should be 10 feet from the house. It's approximately 10 feet. It's only about 4 feet from the sunroom. I think the sunroom was an add-on. Don't think it was original with the house. The deck over here on this beam, half of it was sitting on top of the edge of the tank. This one, they're faking you out, right? Check it out. Sitting on the tank. I can't leave this. So our deck construction has changed dramatically. I think it's a waste of time to build a deck there. I think what we're going to have to do is either change designs or just change the design to just a stoop and then steps, A handicap ramp would work, but if it came up through here, we'd have to turn around and go in, so it'd be real close to it. And then of course all the snow would dump on it, so it'd have to stay out there and kill that whole front lawn. And then over here, because it's up about 30 inches, it'd have to be about 30 feet long. It would take up the whole area here. So that is the dumbest thing ever, is how not to build a deck. Fake you out with those sonotubes with a 4x4 inside and then fill them up with concrete like you got any strength. You got nothing. And then probably the only thing they could have done would be to use those little post ups, the concretes that you set down and set your 4x in it, set them on top of the ground. But to dig down and know that you're on the septic tank and just keep building the project is crazy. I see this one, obviously the inlet's right in here. The foundation, it comes out right here by the corner of the window. So it looks like it goes directly in the center. If I had finished this deck off, I was going to come out one more 2x, and then I was going to put a fascia, and then I was going to skirt it. So I would be skirting to where we couldn't even get to the septic tank. So this all has to come out now. The scope of the project changes a lot. I wasted a whole day and a couple hours this morning. Or did I? I found the tank. I'm down approximately 4 inches. I think 2 and change, and I'm hitting the clean out cover metal handles. So this slopes down quite a bit here. I just assumed by the trench that was a perimeter drain, but obviously it's not. And so think as you go here. I think what I should do is either buy risers. I hate to cover up a tank, you know, and then wait a couple years whenever they clean it out again. Like I said, we haven't had any septic issues, and you know, why mess with something that's working? And now's the time to pop the covers off and clean it out, or leave it alone. Buy risers if I can get, like, say 6-inch risers and caps, and even if they're plastic, and then you just clean off the top of the tank and you glue it down with that black tar adhesive to keep the water out. And they got to be bigger so you can get to the cover. That's what I'd like to do now. But knowing that the tank is at least 8 feet long, it's probably 1,000 gallon, I don't think anything can be here. I know that I'd have to get rid of the beam because it sits right over top of it. What's the sense of leaving one? So I think I'm going to tear all this out. And like I said, if you attach to the building, your footings have to be 4 feet. Well, I know that there's an inlet line right here. I know that that tank is probably 4 feet high. And so I will be digging down to the depth of the base of that tank. And I know there should be a perimeter drain right here. So why me? Why everything like this, right? The other thing I could do is come over to the edge of the tank, which is right here. Right there's the edge of it. It lines up about 6 inches past the door. Is I could do a stoop and stairs. I have to sit them on floating piers. I could do a landing, keep them 2 other ones because they're not touching the tank. Get rid of, actually that one can stay also. That one definitely has to go, and then everything on top of it has to go. If I, like I said, if I come back and I just cut these off, it's still over top of the tank, so I can't use it. I could dig beside the tank and make a 3.5 foot deck, and that's a waste of time. And so I could do a stoop. I could go up. I could attach it on the side of the house and come out to here and then come straight out. And I could make a, I don't know, 8-foot deck. I don't know if I want that window underneath the deck. So kind of kills this project here. So the first video is demo to save and rebuild. And now I'm scratching my head. I guess, like I said, I'm going to look for risers. Now I know where to clean out the septic. If we have to do it in the winter months, it's going to be easy to get at. We wouldn't have to tear our deck apart. I don't want to bring the deck around to the front. Just have a walkway around to the front. I could do that. I could come over here. I could have the stairs coming off the front. But I still would need a footing about 1 foot to the right here of that one. The only thing with those surface mount blocks, deck blocks, whatever they call them, is they shift with the frost. So if you don't have crushed stone under it, then your deck is never going to stay perfectly level. It doesn't move a lot, but it'll move. And anything happen like this to you guys, let me know. Something simple goes so wrong, you know. The center, the edge of the deck is in the center of the septic tank. That's foolish. So I'll do some more thinking. Well, I decided I'm going to rip it all right out. I'm going to bring the tractor back in. I'm going to hook on, rip it right up. I don't want to save anything. I'm not going to mess with it. Probably not going to show you. You saw it before. I don't do this kind of stupid work. So we're going to clean this up. We're going to do it right. We're going to stay off the tank, stay away from it, give it its space. Who's going to maintain it if it's underneath the deck? So I'll come back on when I decide how I'm going to build it. If I want going to come out like this, make a little landing and go that way, or just straight in, be done with it. That was a huge ordeal. There was 2 of them sitting on the septic tank. This one was pretty deep. I got half of it out. There's part of the side right there. This one was a double. There was 2 posts right next to each other, so it pinched it in there, and I got about half of that out. They had 2 right next to each other. I've never seen a stupid design as this. I'm gonna go throw these rocks out back, concrete rock, and then I'm gonna have to grade this. I'll probably put crusher run in here like we did behind the tanks there, because it packs nice. I wanna, if you look, it runs this way. I need it to go that way, so I'll be banking it up a little higher. The crusher, that'll give a nice base for those post ups. I don't know what they're called, deck blocks probably. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to fasten it because I need a 4-foot footing minimum, And so, what a mess. When I pulled that out, it knocked some dirt back in. But we got 2 clean outs here, and I want to get 2 extensions about 6 inches anyway, if I can't find them local. I looked online real quick, and they were like 300 and something plus shipping. And so I might make them out of concrete, and done it before. I think just to bring it up, so it's the clean out's accessible, we can you know, probably put flowers over it or something, or wood chips, so nobody really knows where they are, and I'll just make a map to where it is. But what a project. It made a mess. I was going to salvage that, but I knew if I unbolted the beams that I would have a lot more problem getting just the post out. Leaving the beams on helps lift the post. So a couple boards broke. Got so many hangers and nails in that thing anyway, it would have never moved. That was one of the toughest decks I've ever taken apart. I've taken quite a few apart, and I usually use a tractor. I use the forks or the backhoe, and I come in and I either hook it and pull it, or I lift it and they come right out. These were tough, and probably because they were all sonotubes full with a post inside, but also you know, they're so close together. Usually they're 8 feet apart. These things are, you know, one was 2 inches apart. I couldn't even get the cable in between the 2 4x4s. And what a mess. So I'm going to clean this all up. This is going to be flowers through here. This is, you know, we're going to have roof drippings and whatever. So I'll probably bank this up. I'll bring in some topsoil I got here, and bank that up, plant some shrubs after we do our foundation. Right now we can get to the whole foundation. I see a couple little hairline cracks between the blocks. That happens. So I'll just use some mortar in that, tighten that up. Got a little bit under that window I want to do, and then a little bit there, and just clean it up, and then we'll paint that, and then we'll do the infill, and then I'll probably just end up making a little stoop with a set of stairs, and I can pre-make them right on the car trailer and just back the whole thing over here. I don't have to do it here. I just get my grade, measure my height, bring it up to the door, set my deck blocks. I don't know if I'll do it here or not, but it's quite a hassle. This is not what I intended. I wanted to have a little deck out here, and you can't build over top of a septic tank. So what were they thinking? So I'm going to move along, get this cleaned up. I'll grade that off a little bit. I don't want to drive on the tank, so I got to fit just beside it. Throw some fill in there. The backhoe would be great right now. There is a tree root way from here. Goes right through there, so I'm going to cut that off. That shouldn't hurt that big tree any. And then I definitely don't want it up in there. And what a mess.